Right, let us have a chat, shall we? You think you have escaped. You have traded the drizzle for the dazzle. You have brought the ticket to paradise. However, what happens when paradise starts to feel a bit peculiar? When the smile begins to feel like a suit you have to put on every morning, whether it fits or not. The lure of paradise. I remember it like it was yesterday. The decision. For me, it was a brochure. For you, probably a YouTube video. For those impossibly blue seas, those gold leaf temples shimmering in the heat, the sheer, vibrant aliveness of it all. It whispered promises, a life unshackled, cheap living, a permanent holiday, an escape from the soul-crushing monotony of the 7:15 to Waterloo and a lukewarm Pret sandwiches. Besides, it is not a lie, not exactly. The beauty is real. The first month, even the first year, is a glorious sun-drenched haze. Every meal is an adventure, every Sawadee car from a stranger feels like a blessing. You have done it. You have beaten the system. You are living the dream. Then, the little things. Oh, they start so small, do they not? Like a single termite. Then you wake up one day and the entire foundation of your patience is riddled with holes. It is the fifth time you've been to the immigration office with a folder of documents thicker than a James Joyce novel, only to be told you are missing a piece of paper that nobody mentioned the first 4 times. It is the concept of my pen rye. Don't worry, it's fine. A beautiful philosophy in theory. However, when your sink has been leaking for a fortnight and the landlord says, my pen rye, you want to throttle him with his own flip-flops. It is the communication. You think you are speaking the same language, but you are not. You come from a culture of yes means yes and no means no. Here, yes can mean yes, or it can mean no, or, most infuriatingly, it can mean I have no intention of doing this, but telling you so would cause us both to lose face, so I'll just smile and you can work it out for yourself later. It is enough to make a perfectly sane man start talking to his potted orchid. Then there are the people, the other expats, a motley crew we are, running from something or towards something or just running. You bond here fast. A shared frustration over a utility bill can forge a friendship quicker than a decade in a London pub. Nevertheless, these friendships, they have the lifespan of a mayfly. Just as you find a decent chap who understands the proper way to brew a cup of tea, he is off, back to Germany or Australia, or he has moved to a cheaper province. Your social circle becomes a revolving door. New faces, same stories. On top of that, you find yourself in the expat echo chamber, sitting at the same bar with a new cast having the same conversation. The ties are so... The bureaucracy is just... Why can't they just... It is a sympathy of shared grievances, and after a while you are just playing the same sour note on loop. You feel a million miles from the friends back home whose lives have moved on. Moreover, forming a real deep connection with a Thai person. It is like trying to grab smoke. There is a warmth, a generosity that is humbling, but there is often a glass wall. You are the Farang. You will always be the Farang. After 10 years you are the Farang. After 20 you are the Farang. It is not said with malice, it is just a fact. What's more, on a bad day, that fact can feel very, very heavy. Therefore, what does all this brew inside a person? It is not just a bad mood. It is a slow, creeping attrition on your mental fortitude. You are constantly adapting. Every trip to the market is a minor negative workout. It is exhausting. The loneliness, especially on a birthday or during a family crisis back home, can be a physical ache. That is a secret no one tells you. Depression under a palm tree is still depression. It comes with a better view, and heaven forbid you actually try to do something about it. I remember once feeling particularly low. I mentioned to a Thai acquaintance I was thinking of seeing a head mechanic, a therapist. He looked at me as if I had just suggested I was planning to take up nude yodeling in Tesco Lotus. The stigma here is palatable. Mental health. That is a Western luxury problem. Just smile, eat some somtam, my penrai. Therefore, you look for a professional. Besides, you will find two types. The lovely local therapists who speak limited English and do not quite grasp the concept of a passive-aggressive desire to strangle a motorcycle taxi driver, or the international specialists in Bangkok who charge more per hour than my monthly rent. So, what do? You do what the British have done for centuries in trying climates. You stiffen your upper lip, pour a stiff drink and carry on. It is a profoundly stupid strategy, but it is a popular one. So, is the answer to pack it all in and go back to the drizzle? Not necessarily. Nevertheless, you have to fight back, and you have to fight smart. First, for God's sake, try to learn the language. Not just hello and how much. However, enough to have a pathetic, broken conversation with a woman who sells you your mangoes. That small connection is worth more than 100 conversations in the expat echo chamber. Get out of your bubble. Join a cycling club, a hiking club, a volunteer organisation. Do something that is not centred on and around a bar stool. Furthermore, for pity's sake, have a hobby that does not involve complaining. Manage your expectations. Thailand did not con you. You conned yourself with a fantasy. This is a real country with real people and real, glorious, maddening complexities. Check in with yourself regularly. Am I thriving or just drinking myself into a tolerable routine? The dream of Thailand is not a lie. However, it is an incomplete picture. The real Thailand, the one you build in your life, is a tapestry woven with threads of breathtaking beauty and threads of profound frustration. The cost is not just in baht. It is in the quiet mental toll of building a life in the world you will never ever fully belong. The goal is not to recreate your old life here with the better weather. The goal is to build a new one with stronger foundations. To find your small, authentic place in the chaos. To appreciate the smile not as a mask, but for the complex, resilient, and sometimes inscrutable thing it truly is. It is about learning that paradise is not a place you find. You build a peace for yourself, one stubborn, grumpy and occasionally beautiful day at a time. Now, if you will excuse me, my tea is getting cold and the man opposite has started hanging his washing on his satellite dish. Some battles, my friends, are simply not worth fighting. And if this little monologue struck a chord, whether it brought a wry smile of recognition or a sigh of relief that someone finally said it aloud, then do us both a favour. Give the video a share, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Share your own story of the real cost of expat life in the comments below. Let us get talking. There is some poor blighter out there sweating in his non-air conditioned apartment and wondering if he is the only one feeling this way. Let him know he is not alone in this madness. Now, if you will finally excuse me, this tea is well and truly cold. Time for a fresh brew. Cheers and goodbye.